One's a hard truth, but turning a blind eye is being complicit to the offense of what's happened to that child. Now, this one first goes out to victims. If you have experienced being sexually abused, molested, anything along that spectrum as a child, and realized that a parent, an older adult, someone within your network or your community knew about it, you've even told them at a young age, but they literally dismissed it or turned a blind eye to it, they are just as guilty as the predator. They had no reasoning that was worthy enough to not protect you. Now, a lot of the reasons that do come out are because it happened to them, they believe you'll get over it because they believe they got over it. Or they are feared of their life because they need that person, that predator, maybe is of financial gain to them, keeps them protected. It might be a spouse, a brother, a sibling. It might be someone that is actually helping them live their life. Now, regardless, they should always have spoken up for you. They should have always defended and protected you, but they didn't. Now, I understand this is a hard pill to swallow because you may be an older adult now with your own children looking at, well, if this happened to my child, I potentially would protect them. I wouldn't let it happen. But the reality is, it's taught behavior that you shouldn't say anything. And I guarantee you probably haven't said anything because your parent didn't say anything. Your immediate family, your friend, the person who knew didn't say anything either. Now, to break that cycle, that's not easy because it puts you in a position of the unknown, of uncertainty. The reality is the person who did not speak out when they knew, when they turned a blind eye, had just as much involvement in the abuse that you received as the person who abused you physically, emotionally, sexually, mentally. It's the same thing. Turning a blind eye is just as bad. So please be an understanding that those people in your life are not people to keep your children around. They are not safe to have your children around because they themselves are an assistant to a predator. They may not have ever done anything physically wrong to your child or to you, but they never protected or stopped it or spoke out or moved you away from that environment. If someone has been told that you have been abused and there's nothing about it, well, they're in the same boat as the predator. They are helping facilitate the continuation of this abuse if they have not stepped you away, moved you away. And that's a sad reality. And I know many people that have lived this reality. And the sad truth is they are just as bad as the predator. And I know people don't want to hear it, but that's the truth. And these people might be your mother, your sister, your friend, your family member. And this is a discussion that needs to be open, that needs to be had, so you can have some honest conversations with yourself as to see if you are a grown adult now, who should be in your circle around your children, around children, period. Because these people have behaviors and patterns that proved wrong, that proved that they could not protect or defend a child. And these behaviors could have potentially passed on through patterning towards you and towards your environment. Now, for those who are in this predicament, those who have potentially seen something go wrong or believe something is going wrong, do not stay silent. I know it's scary. But the longer you stay silent, the harder it is for that child. The longer you say, oh, but the predator is a nice person. They care for me. They help me pay for my bills. They put a roof over our head. They look after us. It will stop. The more you are allowing it to happen to that child. There are channels that you can reach out to. There are people you can communicate with. And the hardest thing is being true to what is right. It should be the easiest thing. Looking at that young child and saying, I will protect, I will defend you. But for some reason that becomes harder than letting go of your comfortable lifestyle. Harder than letting go of this lie, this story that you're telling yourself. It should be the easiest thing to protect and defend your child. So please, if you are a victim or have been a victim of child sexual abuse and know of people that turned a blind eye, they are red flags. They are people that should not be around children because their behaviors have shown otherwise. They may show as loving, caring, beautiful humans, but they weren't at a time of need, and that is when it mattered. And if you are catching yourself out to be in a predicament where you may have turned a blind eye and you may have shut down a story, it is time that you own that. It is time that you say, no, enough's enough. Because you could save their life. You could protect them and you could help them heal moving forward. Please know the truth, speak the truth, and don't turn a blind eye.